Boston Celtics, my Celtics. Let's go. 3-1 up against Philly. That game was just, our bench today was just special. If you're new here, my name is Dex. This is Box to Box Hoops. Welcome. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Yeah, you know the deal. Let's get straight into the game. Yo, this bench is special. Payton Pritchard. This is the Payton Pritchard game. And the thing is, it had every signature thing about Payton Pritchard. He's one of the best guards shooting in the paint. He's amazing from 3-point. He hit a buzzer beater. He got fouled just with 0.9 seconds to go, I think, in the third quarter. So, there was everything. He was just ticking off everything that's very Payton Pritchard-like. There was the handles. There was the step back. There was just, bombs. This guy is just everything. And honestly, we needed every bit of it. In as much as, yes, we're saying, he came through for us in the first quarter. We actually needed him in the first half because our offense was not looking great. Our offense just looked a bit meh. The offense was just not ticking at all. And the fact that JB and JT combined for, was it 8? No, it was 2 of 20-something or 8 of 20-something. I can't remember what it was. But in the first half, they were not great. And the people that carried us was Payton Pritchard. It was, who else carried us in the first quarter? Payton Pritchard, D. White had a few points there. Yeah, dude, it was just Payton Pritchard. I mean, yes, JT and JB got theirs, but yeah, Pritchard is the guy who carried us. He had a plus minus of 20, 32 points. He was actually 2 points shy of the Celtics record of points off the bench. So yeah, I'm surprised they didn't leave him in. But I feel like at this point, they know he can get it. He was so good. And the 24 points we scored in the first quarter was the most off the bench by any bench since forever. Actually, no, it's the most ever. So our bench was just productive. And it wasn't just Pritchard's points. When Jordan Walsh came off the bench and Pritchard was cooking, when Philly was trying to get back into the game, now they tried giving Maxey the ball, which I feel like they didn't give him the ball enough because everything was trying to go through Embiid, who was a big surprise that he was even playing. I didn't even know he was playing. I found out 2 minutes before tip-off and I was like, man, this guy is about to make everything super complicated. And my big concern about Embiid was if the game is close in the fourth quarter, it was very possible because they beat us in the second game. Only the first game was a blowout. For second game and third game, really close in the fourth quarter. When it comes to executing in the half court, we don't have an answer for Embiid. Let's just be honest. We don't have an answer for Embiid. And Nimi was already on 2 fouls after Gaza was after 2 minutes. Gaza was on 5 fouls by the third quarter after he fouled Drummond on that, looking for that 2-for-1 at the end of the game. So, yeah, when I saw Embiid, I was like, yeah, he's going to get tricky. So they were trying to give Maxey the ball to try and initiate the offense, to try and get him going a bit, And Jordan Walsh just came off a bench and he was like, nah, I'm shutting this down now. So our big lead came from, obviously, Pritchard. It also came from, what's his face? From Jordan Walsh's defense. There was just 2-3 minutes of defense where, because Maxey can get hot really quick. So you have to slow him down. And then the third person to give a shout out to was also Baylor Shireman, because the offensive rebounds we were getting, by halftime, we had 9 offensive rebounds, they had 0. A team that is much bigger than us, right? If you look at their big men, obviously, they're much bigger than us. And it was just dude, the bench today was different. And I like what JT and JB did in the second half. It was like, all right, cool. Now, we're the vets, we're the stars. Let's take this over. And when it comes to JB decided to start doing that at the end of the second quarter, just before halftime. And this is a thing that happens a lot with teams that execute well, right? I saw it a lot with San Antonio under Pop and Timmy, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. And even Miami's team, that Miami team that that lost to them and beat them as well. There's a period in which just before halftime where the execution level just goes up, right? And also our coach Joe Mazzulla is very big on that. End quarter as well, especially the ending quarter as well. You can work so hard for a whole quarter to gain a lead, and then all of a sudden you just lose 5 points and then it shrinks, right? So JB really took it upon himself to try and get going just before halftime, and that kind of propelled him towards the second half. And you could see how aggressive he was being. He was being quite aggressive. He was not afraid to go up against Paul George. And I also feel like he's really taking that Paul George matchup quite personally. In terms of Paul George has always been one of the premier wings, right? Especially in the Eastern Conference for the longest time when he was with the Pacers. And then when we went to the Clippers, obviously, people like PG and like JB and JT, Brown and Tatum have looked up to like that Kawhi Paul George partnership. Something, and there's aspects of it that they really wanted to replicate. And those times we'd play the Clippers and those two would just outplay our two, JB and JT. And you can tell, like, this is someone he really respects and he took it quite personally. So he was like, yeah, I'm going to go at it. Vooch gave us good minutes. Embiid, the thing I want to talk about as well is Embiid. Embiid coming in, like, I feel like I'm one of the few Celtics who actually respect Embiid. But also, Embiid is, I know he plays for the US, but he's African. And us as Africans, there are certain players that we just, yes, like they've paved the way for a lot of us guys to go into the NBA and to just sports in general, like at the highest level. So, and Embiid is one of those people that I really hold in high regard from his days in Cameroon. Him being in what's this thing called? This is Basketball Africa stuff. Not the Basketball Africa League, but like Hoops of Africa, I believe it was. So all these camps he was going through, and then just like it's really paved the way. So unlike a Celtics fan from the US, they will, or from the States, they will just look at him as, yeah, this is Embiid from Philly, and we don't like him. And I also don't like him because he's from Philly, but I love him because he's African. So there's a difference. The moment I saw him, he's playing, I was like, damn, this guy is about to complicate things. As I said, if the game was close towards the end, then they had the advantage. The only thing that I started seeing, one of the big issues that I saw him with him coming back is that he's so good in the half court. You have to find ways to play with him, right? You have to find ways to play through him, basically. But the problem is, the rest of the team is a team that likes to play with speed, play through the athleticism, and like to play with pace. So when he's in the post, when he's doing his thing, obviously he's still one of the best in the league. But the rest of the offense, or the rest of the team is just like watching, right? But if you decide to go quick and play an athletic game, he can't survive that. He can't handle it. He's never been that guy. And he's just coming from a surgery that takes athletes an average of 23 days. He's back in, I think, 16 or 17, right? So already he's pushing his body. He's played 32 minutes. So, yeah, that's the one thing I'm seeing. It's really taking away from what Philly does well, which is run. They just run, they're athletic. Someone like VJ Edgecombe, I said it in my previous recap after Game 3, he's one of those guys who, he's a rookie, so he still has a lot to learn. And someone like that, you don't put him in the half court. He will get exposed and he will get, his confidence will really get shot. Because even when you saw today's game, we were just daring him to keep shooting. Like, shoot whatever you want. Like, his confidence has just dipped, which sucks because, honestly, I like Edgecombe. But, yeah, Embiid coming back was both good and both bad for Philly. He got like the first 8-9 points of the game and you're like, yeah. And the thing I was fearing is him going to the free throw line a lot because he doesn't miss. He's like a 90% free throw shooter, I believe. So, yeah, I was a bit skeptical. But I think we handled him well. The fact that we managed to just get this big lead and the rest of the game they're chasing means they have to play faster, means that they're always trying to, they're not playing at the speed they want to play. We made them play at a speed that we wanted them to play. So that was great on our part. Tatum was 3 rebounds shy of a triple-double. He's been getting these near triple-double games ever since he came back. And I think the most important thing and impressive thing that I've seen since he came back, and I've said it before, is just his playmaking. I'm just a big fan of how he's come back. He's willing to share the ball. He's willing to get Kader in the pick and roll quite early, like get him going quickly. Vucevic, he gives up the ball quickly, early in the possession. So yeah, like overall, I'm happy with the performance. Like, yeah, First half, the offense was not great. Pritchard just happened to happen, right? Then, second half, the Jays came through and they're like, yeah, we're taking over. And then someone else I need to give a big shout out is Derek White. Man, those two huge blocks, one on Embiid, and the other one was on, who was on the other one? Maxey on the fast break. He only took 4 shots. To be fair to him, no, he took 5 shots, took 4 threes. To be fair to him, he's been very bad from 3, but he made 2 out of 4, which again, it's 50% positives. But the reason why I'm bringing him up is he realized quite early, like, yo, Pritchard is hot, so I don't need to shoot today. I don't need to have another game where it's like 2 of 9 from 3, right? Or 1 of 10 from 3. And it never affects his overall gameplay. But I think just in terms of productivity of the team, obviously it affects it. And he, again, was big with the offensive rebounds. I believe he had, how many? He had 4. He had 4 offensive rebounds. So, again, our highest amongst anyone in the team. Just playing big, man. Like, this guy, he plays much bigger than you think he is. Like, if someone just showed you his stats at the end of his career, the number of blocks he has, the number of offensive rebounds he has, it's like it matches someone who'd be like a power forward or something. Because I don't say a center, because a center would definitely have more offensive rebounds. But even blocks, I'd say centers. Because if you look at his blocks this season, I believe he was in the top 20, and he might be one of only 2 guards or the only guard. NBA blocks per game, 2025, 26. It's coming up. Where is he? He is, actually, he's 22nd. But he's the only guard actually, he's only one of 2 guards in the top 50. But this is blocks per game. This is your average. So when it comes to blocks per game average, and then the only other guy is Hayden Gray, who only played 1 game, had 1 block in that game. So he has 1 block per game. So he basically doesn't count. But yeah, Derek White is basically the only guard. He's tied with Nehemiah Skater, and he's just above Joel Embiid in blocks per game. So, yeah, man, this guy is just special. Like, what he gives us is, you can't just put... Derek White is good. He is that guy. That's all I'm trying to say. So, yeah, this guy is now, we go back to Boston. I think the next game is on Tuesday or Wednesday. LeBron is on the court. I want to go and see this big legend, old man. It's 19-0, and see what he does against the Rockets and see if he can sweep them. I believe he'd be the oldest person to sweep a team. But yeah, shout out to my Celtics. Good win. I liked it. I loved it, actually. I enjoy seeing Philly suffer. Only second to Milwaukee, and I'll take it. Make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Box to Box Hoops, YouTube, TikTok, and on Instagram. Let's go!